Choosing the right fins is far more than a matter of comfort or style. It's a crucial decision that can significantly impact a diver's performance and energy efficiency. A choice that, if made incorrectly, can drastically undermine their effectiveness without them even realizing it. In today's dive gear market, the overwhelming array of options and misleading marketing hype promise superior propulsion with flashy, innovative designs. Yet the essential factors for selecting the perfect fin are rarely discussed. The diver's abilities, physical comfort, body composition, as well as the finning techniques employed during their dives. Certain fins may excel in specific finning techniques and suit particular divers, while others are better suited to different techniques and individuals. The key is for divers to understand their diving styles and abilities and to select fins that align with their specific needs and preferences. So let's dive deep into the different types of fins and explore their pros and cons. Fins are generally classified into two primary styles: full-foot fins and open-heel fins. A full-foot scuba fin features a soft, flexible foot pocket that completely encloses the foot, including the heel. Designed to be worn directly on bare feet, these fins are particularly favored for warm water and boat diving. Their streamlined design minimizes bulk, making them travel-friendly, and they are often more affordable than open-heel fins. However, full-foot fins have several limitations. Their fixed sizing provides no adjustability, requiring a perfect fit, and they cannot accommodate dive boots. This reduces their practicality for cold water or shore diving, where divers need thermal protection and may need to walk across slippery or rough terrain. Additionally, their snug fit can make them more difficult to put on and remove compared to open-heel designs. On the other hand, open-heel scuba fins are highly versatile and practical, offering a range of advantages that make them suitable for various diving conditions. Designed with a rigid foot pocket that leaves the heel exposed and is secured with adjustable straps, these fins are intended to be worn with dive boots. This adds thermal protection and safeguards against hazards like uneven, slippery ground or sharp objects during shore entries. Open-heel fins are also easier to put on and take off, especially in challenging conditions. Their propulsion efficiency often surpasses that of full-foot fins due to their advanced material composition and optimized design. They are typically more expensive than full-foot fins, and divers must also invest in dive boots. Additionally, they are larger and bulkier, which can make them less travel-friendly. Fins can be further categorized based on the design and type of their blades. Paddle fins are a basic type of fin with a very simple, flat plastic blade. They are designed for flutter kicking, providing limited propulsion. They are not a good choice for other types of finning techniques and are generally the least effective of all fin types. These fins are often the cheapest option, which is why they are commonly found in rental gear. While they serve their purpose for beginners, they offer limited versatility for more experienced divers who want to perfect their finning techniques. Vented fins are the same shape, but an upgrade from paddle fins featuring vents at the base of the foot pocket that allow water to flow through during the recovery stroke of the flutter kick, while preventing water from passing during the power stroke. This design reduces resistance and improves propulsion. However, like paddle fins, they are still primarily suited for flutter kicking and are not effective for other finning techniques, limiting their versatility. Channel fins have a similar basic shape to other standard fins but are made from materials that allow the blade to flex when used in the water. This flexibility creates a channel that captures and directs water, hence increasing propulsion. The design makes channel fins more efficient than basic paddle or vented fins, and they are versatile enough for use with various finning techniques such as frog kicking or the helicopter turn. Some models feature wider side profiles, making them particularly effective for back kicking as well, adding to their overall utility in different diving situations. Another category of fins are the jet fins that are shorter and wider than the standard types and known for their heavy and stiff design. These fins are built for power and control, making them particularly well suited for cold water diving, where divers often wear bulky exposure suits. The sturdy construction of jet fins also provides excellent propulsion when carrying extra weight or drag, such as stage tanks or heavy equipment. Jet fins excel in techniques that require precise control, such as frog kicks, back kicks, and helicopter turns, allowing divers to move with maximum accuracy. Their rigid design means less flexibility, which results in more strain on the legs, especially during prolonged use. Split fins are designed to reduce resistance from the water, decreasing strain on the diver's leg compared to traditional fins. This feature is particularly beneficial for individuals with leg-related issues as it requires less effort. However, they do not generate the same propulsion as full-blade fins. While this type of fins make flutter kicking easier, they are not suitable for other finning techniques such as frog kicks, back kicks, or helicopter turns. Additionally, split fins offer limited maneuverability, making them less suitable for quick direction changes or abrupt stops. While hinged fins, although serving the same purpose as split fins, are often marketed in a distinct way. In reality, they are more of a gimmick, offering no advantage over standard split fin designs, so best to avoid these for scuba diving. Let's explore various types of fins, their effectiveness across different finning techniques, and their overall advantages and limitations. We begin with a paddle fin, featuring a thin side profile, simple flat rubber straps, and a soft, relatively narrow foot pocket. Their blades are typically highly flexible, and depending on the model, these fins are generally either neutrally or slightly negatively buoyant. This buoyancy characteristic, even when slightly negative, ensures that the diver's trim is not affected by the fin. True to its name, this type of fin functions much like a paddle, utilizing a long, flat surface to push against the water and generate propulsion through the transfer of force. However, because they are made of a highly flexible plastic blade rather than rigid materials, they are less efficient than other types of fins. Their flexibility allows divers to exert less effort, but it also results in significantly reduced propulsion when using certain finning techniques, such as the frog kick. Since the fin's blade is not rigid enough to overcome water resistance during this technique, the blades bend excessively, undermining the effectiveness of this finning style. In the case of back finning, a technique that demands a broadside profile to generate sufficient propulsion, paddle fins prove to be highly inefficient. The narrow side profile of these fins offers minimal surface area for effective use during back kicking, significantly limiting their ability to provide the necessary thrust for this particular maneuver. Beyond the inadequate side profile, the lack of rigidity remains another issue that further undermines the effectiveness of this finning technique. They are more efficient with the flutter kick, as this is the technique for which they are primarily designed, but they are likely best suited for swimming, snorkeling, or other activities but scuba diving. They may not be sufficient for covering long distances and would be ineffective while carrying heavy or bulky equipment or when attempting to fight an unexpected current. Jet fins have become an increasingly popular choice among divers in recent times, a trend largely driven by the hype and excitement surrounding them. These fins are characterized by their wider side profiles and foot pockets, shorter blades, and the use of exceptionally rigid materials in their design. With a few exceptions, most jet fins are negatively buoyant, with the degree of buoyancy varying among models. When fins are negatively buoyant, they tend to pull the diver's feet downward, disrupting their trim and requiring increased effort to maintain the ideal horizontal position. This is merely one of the challenges associated with divers choosing these fins based on their reputation rather than their suitability to the diver's unique skills and requirements. In another aspect, the notion that dry suits demand heavy negative fins to fix floaty legs is pure nonsense. True mastery lies in perfecting gas management while using a dry suit. Jet fins are effective when precise control is required, such as during the helicopter turn, which demands wider side profiles and more rigid blades compared to a standard paddle fin. If you're unfamiliar with this finning technique, click on the link in the upper right corner to watch our video on this subject. Frog kicking, widely considered one of the most efficient and commonly used propulsion techniques, is easier to perform with jet fins due to their specialized blade design. However, this increased propulsion comes with a trade-off. The rigidity of the jet fin results in greater resistance in the water. While this resistance enhances the effectiveness of the fin, it simultaneously demands more effort from the diver's legs. The added strain increases energy expenditure, which in turn leads to tiredness and higher gas consumption as the diver works harder to maintain movement. They can also cause cramps, particularly when switching from a flexible fin, as the sudden change in resistance can strain the leg that isn't accustomed to it. When it comes to the back kick, jet fins are highly effective due to their rigidity and broadside profile, which are essential for maintaining control and propulsion during this technique. However, despite their effectiveness, they still impose the same level of strain on the legs as other finning techniques, as the increased resistance requires more effort from the diver's muscles. Lastly, jet fins are poorly suited for the flutter kick, as this technique relies on long, relatively flexible fins for optimal performance, qualities that the jet fin lacks. Finally, we come to our personal favorite, a hybrid fin type that combines the best features of all fins, merging their most beneficial characteristics into one design. These fins are defined by their long, moderately flexible blades, wide side profiles, and a foot pocket that balances comfort with a degree of rigidity and adequate width. These fins are slightly negatively buoyant. However, this does not exert any influence on the diver's trim. If you're unfamiliar with the proper procedures for performing trim checks, watch our video on the topic by clicking on the link in the upper right corner. Due to their broad side profile, rigid sole design, and adequately sized blades, these fins excel in maneuvers such as the helicopter turn, which serves as a great basis for our evaluation, as both the frog kick and back kick are used during this maneuver. In fact, these fins are so well designed that they prove highly effective for such finning techniques, even when performed with only one leg at a time, which can be particularly beneficial for individuals with leg-related issues. Back kicks are an essential skill for every diver, as they represent one of the most effective positioning techniques. These fins are particularly efficient for this maneuver due to their design, featuring wide sides and moderate rigidity. Divers can achieve the same level of effectiveness with less effort and energy expenditure compared to using jet fins, let alone attempting the technique with standard paddle fins. A similar advantage can be observed with one of the most fundamental finning techniques, the frog kick. The long blades enhance propulsion, allowing for efficient movement through the water with minimal effort. Meanwhile, the wide foot pocket and rigid side profiles contribute to overall stability, ensuring that the diver maintains control throughout the kick. Additionally, the blade's optimal flexibility strikes a balance between responsiveness and power, providing the precise amount of effectiveness needed to perform the frog kick efficiently. This well-balanced blend of design elements ensures that divers experience enhanced performance while minimizing energy expenditure. These fins are also effective when performing the flutter kick, a technique primarily employed in emergencies or when divers need to overcome unforeseen currents. The blade's length and flexibility deliver adequate propulsion, while the rigid foot pocket ensures stability during this finning technique. Additionally, they provide sufficient propulsion when performing the modified flutter kick, which is primarily utilized in silty, confined overhead environments or when divers need to swim near sensitive bottoms. An essential consideration is the efficiency of fins when carrying additional weight or bulky equipment. Fins that perform poorly during standard light scuba diving are unlikely to be effective in more demanding scenarios involving heavier gear. Therefore, the fins that offer the best performance and efficiency in typical diving conditions are the ones divers should prioritize for more strenuous dives, as they are more likely to provide the necessary support and propulsion when faced with increased physical demands. Although we've addressed various fin designs along with their advantages and drawbacks, it's important to remember the most crucial factor in achieving efficient propulsion: proper technique. As a matter of fact, even the most advanced fins will fail to deliver optimal performance if the diver doesn't employ the correct methods. Conversely, with the right technique, divers can maintain efficiency even without fins. Thanks for watching and hope you learned something. Consider subscribing to Flow State Divers to become part of the community of conscious divers and to get notified on our upcoming content.